Right now at 5, Joplin schools unveil proposed safety upgrades for elementary campuses.
And we have mostly cloudy skies for today, but it is going to be warmer. Your forecast coming up.
Plus, Southeast Kansas nonprofits get double the donations this week through a special matching program.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KWM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Thursday.
I know we're getting through the week. We passed hump day yesterday and we're finally at Thursday, and tomorrow is Friday. Oh, man.
I mean, time flies by when you're having fun, I guess, is what they say, right?
Most definitely. And like the weather is definitely helping us feel the enjoyment of the work week right now. So
yes, and we're having, the last 2 nights, a lot of people were able to go see the Aurora Borealis outside. I know we are both very ashamed to admit that we have missed it both nights.
Yes, I had my alarm set to wake up. So we go to bed a little bit before sunset, and I had an alarm set to see it last night, but instead of 10 p.m., I set my alarm to 10 a.m. So no wonder why I didn't wake up in time to see it.
Yeah, but we get to see all of your beautiful photos about it, and we get to still enjoy some beautiful weather today, at least.
Yes, we do. We are going to be seeing some mostly cloudy skies, but on the warmer side, let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. It is clear skies, luckily, so you guys probably did get to see the Aurora Borealis because there was clear skies through the overnight, and right now, however, there will be some clouds building through the morning as well. Taking a look at 7th and Range line, like I said, clear skies at the moment. Everything looks pretty good. Temperatures are actually feeling pretty good right now. Maybe on the cooler side, but not too bad. Range line I-44 for our MoDOT cam. The camera is a little bit hazy, but our fog tracker overall looks pretty good, except for a little bit of fog patch up there in Nevada and Stockton. So if you guys are driving through there, you have just a little over 7.5 miles of visibility, but that's not too bad, but just still be careful. And the rest of the area looks pretty good for driving conditions. So our temperatures right now, like I said, they are on the cooler side, but things are starting to warm up. We have 48 degrees in Joplin, 45 in Neosho. So you guys are colder a little bit out there in Sedan, about 38, but most of the area upper 30s and lower 40s. So take a look at our future tracks. So today at noon, you're going to see those south winds bringing in that nice warmer air, but we are going to have some mostly cloudy skies, clouds increasing through the morning. But by the time we get to 4 o'clock this afternoon, the clouds will start to dissipate. We'll start to feel that afternoon warm start to build in, partly cloudy skies into the evening when clouds start to dissipate even more, and partly cloudy skies for our evening and on the warmer side. So for your school day, 45 degrees out the door, increasing clouds through the day, 72 at lunch and recess, 73 as you're heading home. So a decent day despite it being maybe on the mostly cloudy side. So our 73 high about that 3 o'clock hour, and gusting up to 20 miles an hour, but it's going to be a pretty overall nice day. I'll check your full forecast coming up.
Donald, thanks. The Joplin School District approves plans for the next phase of building improvements, and they're focused on safety. Phase 1 of the improvements addressed upgrades to educational spaces considered to be high priority. Now the district's long-range planning committee is unveiling Phase 2 of the project. It includes upgrades to safety and security at a number of Joplin elementary schools. It would be paid for by the $10 million in District Reserve Fund, as well as a bond issue that would maintain the current tax rate. The spirit of giving is alive and well in Southeast Kansas. 48 nonprofit organizations in the area are participating in Match Week, meaning donations to a good cause could be even greater. KWM's Mitch Adams gives us the story.
Match Week is in full swing in Southeast Kansas, with donations flowing in to support nonprofit organizations. The Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas is offering matching donations to help build sustainability for the nonprofits.
And the Community Foundation is proud to have over $100,000 in matching funds to amplify donations that come in from the community. So more money that helps support our local nonprofits and the work that they do day in and day out to better our community.
One benefactor of donations this week consists of the Miners Hall Museum, Franklin Community Park, and Dragline Park, which are all managed by one entity. Phyllis Bittner, the chair of the Miners Hall Museum Foundation, says that the Match Week helps grow funding that may need to be utilized by future board members.
We know that all of us won't be here, say 10 or 15 years from now, and we want the the facilities to continue to be able to be maintained. So through the endowment funds, that's how that will happen.
The efforts from area foundations and the generosity of donors is meant to pave a way for organizations to increase their longevity and be an active part of the community.
Needs in our community, donors are helping support that effort, and we're an avenue to help them do that. And it's really humbling to see the support that our community has for all these organizations and the work that they do.
Reporting in Southeast Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to Executive Director Devin Gorman, the foundation is approaching $2 million that's been given to support nonprofits in the area in the last 10 years. MSSU discussed the business of art as the school held the Nanette Filbert Business of Art Symposium. The event brought together artists, entrepreneurs, and business leaders to share insight into the business side of creative careers. The symposium aimed to help local artists turn their passion into a profession, with discussions on marketing, networking, and sustainability in the arts. After 43 days, the federal government is finally open for business. Last night, President Donald Trump signed a bill to end the shutdown just a couple of hours after it was passed by the House. While relief is on the way for hundreds of thousands of government workers who either worked or were furloughed without pay, it could take some time for air travel to get back to normal. CBS News' Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
With the stroke of the president's pen, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history has ended.
It's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again.
President Trump pointed blame at congressional Democrats, though CBS News polling shows Americans put the onus on both parties.
Democrats in Congress shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars.
Hours earlier, the House passed the bill to fund the government through January 30th, give federal workers back pay, and reverse shutdown-related layoffs. The measure also included 3 year-long spending bills to fund multiple programs, including SNAP. 6 Democrats crossed party lines to vote yes. 2 Republicans voted no.
All this was utterly pointless and foolish.
House Speaker Mike Johnson hasn't committed to a vote to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies, the Democratic sticking point. House Democrats say they'll keep fighting.
We believe as Democrats that health care has to be a right, and a right that's affordable and available to every single American in the United States.
With the shutdown ended, federal workers could start getting back pay within days, but it could still take some time for full food aid to be restored for 42 million Americans receiving SNAP benefits. Meanwhile, at the nation's airports, flight disruptions are expected to extend into the weekend. Jared Hill, CBS News.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries filed a discharge petition today to extend the expiring Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years. The petition, which would circumvent House GOP leadership, requires at least 218 signatures from House members to force a floor vote on the issue. So it would need a few Republicans to sign on to trigger floor action. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, Congress releases Epstein emails mentioning Trump as lawmakers push for more Justice Department files to be made public. Plus, Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep return to the fashion world in The Devil Wears Prada 2. Nearly 20 years later, the long-awaited sequel hits theaters May 1st. In mostly cloudy and warm conditions in the 4 states, Donald has a look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released more Epstein files, and this time they mentioned President Trump by name. Wei Zhejiang now on what they say about him and the White House response.
In one of the emails, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein wrote to a journalist in 2019, "Of course Trump knew about the girls." And in 2011, to his longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein wrote about President Trump, "Virginia spent hours at my house with him," adding he has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. Virginia Giuffre, a survivor of Epstein abuse who died by suicide in April, once worked at Trump's Florida resort. In July, Trump spoke about Epstein taking Giuffre from her job at the Mar-a-Lago spa.
He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, as you know. None whatsoever.
Trump socialized with Epstein in the 1990s, but says he cut ties before Epstein was indicted for soliciting prostitution in 2006. The president insists he had no involvement or knowledge of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. During a 2016 deposition, Giuffre said, "I don't think Donald Trump participated in anything. I never saw or witnessed Donald Trump participate in those acts." White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt slammed Democrats for cherry-picking 3 emails out of 20,000 documents released today by Congress.
Separate from why you believe the emails were made public, can you address their substance? Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong.
On Wednesday, after weeks of delay, Democratic Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva was sworn into Congress, and she became the final signature required to force a House vote on the Justice Department releasing even more Epstein-related files. The effort includes mostly Democrats and a few Republicans. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
Still to come, a new study reveals 114 million children worldwide have hypertension, with obesity as the main driver. Plus, mostly cloudy and warm conditions. Donald has another look at your Thursday forecast. Miranda Priestley returns to the world of fashion and film in The Devil Wears Prada 2. And AC/DC fans rock out in an unforgettable way. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Miranda? Took you long enough.
Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep are stepping back into the fashion world. A new trailer just released, teasing the upcoming The Devil Wears Prada 2. The long-awaited sequel comes nearly 20 years later. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is in theaters May 1st. Meghan Trainor is known for being all about that bass and says she's continuing to push for self-confidence in her upcoming album, Toy With Me.
I've been working on this album very hard. I usually write a song in one day and I'm done with it, but each song on this album took like months to finish.
The album is a family affair, with her mom and brother contributing backup vocals for some of the tracks. Trainor is also preparing for a new tour across the U.S. next summer. It was one for the record books as hundreds of bagpipers took to the streets of Melbourne, Australia, belting out AC/DC's It's a Long Way to the Top. While none of the band members were in attendance, the collaboration of 374 bagpipes broke a 2012 world record. It's not your usual rom-com. Merv stars a dog and 2 exes.
The thing is, me and Russ broke up. You're gonna be okay.
The film shows just how far people are willing to go to try to give their dog a good life.
This could be a window into his trauma.
Merv heads to Prime Video December 10th. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
I'm sure you've never heard any AC/DC song sound quite like that. Well, now here's Donald with a quick look at your forecast.
Well, we're going to see mostly cloudy skies today, but it is going to be warm today as well, and that warm trend will continue through the weekend. But I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up after the break. Well, it's a nice start to our morning. We're on the clear side for our skies, but it's not too bad for temperatures. Still on the cool side, though, as you're waking up. 7th and range line, you can't really see clear skies, but there's not really any clouds, but there will be some clouds building through the morning as temperatures will start to increase as well. Range line I-44, our MoDOT cam. The camera looks a little bit fuzzy, but for the most part, our fog tracker has pretty good driving conditions except through Nevada and Stockton. You guys have about 7.5 miles of visibility, so if you're driving through those towns, just be careful because there is some decrease in visibility. So not too terrible, but fog can increase and decrease pretty quickly. But most of the area looks pretty good for your driving conditions this morning. All right, so let's talk about why it's actually going to be so warm today and through the weekend. Those southerly winds are really starting to come in and dominate now. We used to have a blend wind of some northwesterly winds, but now it's all southerly winds bringing in that nice warm air from the south and the Gulf of America. So it's going to be pretty nice the rest of the week because those winds are, or those nice warm winds are going to stick around through Sunday. All right, take a look at our future track. Today at noon, we can see some clouds that are going to be, like I said, are going to be building in through the morning. There's those southerly winds bringing in a nice warm air. But as we progress through the afternoon to about 4 o'clock, the clouds then start to dissipate. It's still going to be partly cloudy. There still will be some lingering clouds, but as we progress through to about 6 o'clock and through the evening, still pretty nice southerly warm winds. It's going to be a pretty nice evening into the overnight. By the time we get to a Friday about 5 a.m., there is our southerly wind still, nice clear skies. Friday is going to be really nice for us as well. It's actually going to be probably better and nicer and warmer than it is today. There's noon, still some southerly winds. It is going to be on the breezier side though. We can see some gusts over 20 miles an hour tomorrow, but it's still going to be pretty nice for pretty much our entire Friday as well. So today, pretty nice, mostly cloudy though. Tomorrow, more on the sunnier side and warmer. So let's take a look at our temperatures right now. We got 48 in Joplin and in Carthage, so we're on the warmer side in that area. Out there in Sedan, you guys are at 38, so a little bit on the chillier side, so mostly upper 30s to mid 40s and maybe even some upper 40s across the area. We haven't reached our coldest time in the morning yet. That's right before sunset, so but not too bad as you're getting out the door. You're still going to need a jacket. So our current conditions, 48 degrees in Joplin, clear skies before those clouds start to build in through the morning. So starting your day, 50 degrees at 8 a.m., mostly cloudy skies through the morning, getting up to 68 degrees by 11 a.m., so it's going to be pretty nice by lunchtime. And planning your afternoon, at noon, 72 degrees, and we're going to warm up to that high of 73 by about the 2 to 4 o'clock hour with mostly cloudy skies, with clouds decreasing by the time we get to the 4 o'clock hour. But winds are going to be gusting to about 20 miles per hour today, so not too bad. Our evening doesn't look too bad as well. 68 degrees at 6 p.m., decreasing clouds through the nighttime, getting down to partly cloudy skies by 10 p.m. at 61, and our overnight low is going to be 58 degrees with nice south winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So for today, mostly cloudy skies, 73 for a high. Friday, 75. On the nicer side, Saturday, nice and sunny, 77 degrees. I wanted to say that right, 77 degrees is our record for that high this time of year, and there's a chance we could possibly break the record if we see it get to 78. And then we have another front that's going to come through Sunday night into Monday, bringing those rain chances into our area, cooling things down. But let's not take for granted this beautiful weather that we have through the rest of our week. That's a look at your full forecast. Here is Sam with Health Watch.
Thanks, Donald. The number of children with high blood pressure has doubled in recent years. A study published in The Lancet shows 6% of all children worldwide, or 114 million young people, have hypertension. Obesity is the main driver of the increase. Doctors say this should raise alarm bells for parents and healthcare providers, as hypertension is linked to several serious health issues, including heart disease and kidney disease. Popular drugs used for weight loss can lower rates of death among colon cancer patients. Researchers from UC San Diego found that colon cancer patients taking GLP-1 drugs, the class of drugs that include Ozempic and Wegovy, were less than half as likely to die within 5 years compared to people who weren't on the drugs. The biggest benefit was among patients with a very high body mass index. Nearly 1 in 3 people worldwide experiences headache disorders. A study published in The Lancet found almost 3 billion people are affected by headache disorders, and there's been no significant improvement in those numbers over the last 30 years. Women are more than twice as likely as men to suffer from headaches. Migraines and medication overuse were the most common causes. The grocery store can be an overwhelming place when you're trying to watch what you're eating. The experience can be even more stressful for people with medical conditions like type 2 diabetes. Jared Hill introduces us to a program that is teaming up with dietitians and patients to help them make healthier choices.
At this ShopRite in New Milford, New Jersey,
we have lots of produce in this department.
These shoppers are actually a group of patients with diabetes and prediabetes from Hackensack University Medical Center, learning how to make healthier choices.
Carbs and vegetables, they don't really affect your blood sugar.
Aisle by aisle, registered dietitian Lynette Hemley with Insera Supermarkets is arming them with information.
Managing diabetes requires so many different aspects. food, medication, wellness, but I'm focusing on food today, what they can eat to manage their blood sugar.
Like very ripe bananas tend to be higher in sugar.
You could have that later on in the day, not first thing in the morning when your blood sugar could either be very high or very low.
I like beets. She mentioned that it was high in sugar content, which I really didn't know that.
And why to choose whole grain over white.
You get more fiber, more protein.
In this aisle,
If you're having some cereal, be careful with your portions.
everyone grabs their favorite breakfast item.
What's the sugar in that, the added sugar?
12 grams.
12 grams. So 12 grams, so that's like 3 teaspoons of sugar.
I didn't even know there was proteins in cereal.
Right.
Kevin Turner, who is pre-diabetic, is here with his daughter.
With this introduction of the food choices in the supermarket, kind of helps me narrow down and make better choices.
This really helped me a lot.
It's been more than a year since Andrea Gillespie was diagnosed with prediabetes.
It was like a punch to the stomach, like I need to make some changes.
So that's what she's doing now.
Look at the labels, sodium intake, your sugar intake, your carb intake.
Lessons these shoppers can all take on their next shopping trip. Jared Hill, CBS News.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, a house fire in Carl Junction leads to a criminal investigation.
And cloudy but warm conditions today, and that trend continues through the rest of the week. I'll have a check your forecast coming up.
Plus, a pair of sisters in Joplin put on their dancing shoes for some seriously fun competition.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KLM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Thursday.
Yes, we have finally reached Thursday. We know that Friday is upon us. The week is coming to an end, but the weather has been making it feel really good.
I know, and I know people have been, excited and watching the Aurora Borealis each night. I know we were talking earlier. We have managed to miss it both nights, but people have gotten some really incredible photos from here in the 4 states.
Oh, definitely. I mean, a lot of the photos, if you weren't outside for yourself to take photos, there's photos on all of our social media posts that you can see. It's just been a very beautiful, very beautiful event that we've had over the last couple of days. And I really wish I could have saw it myself, but I go to sleep so early because we wake up and we get here so early that we go to bed before the sun even sets sometimes.
Yes.
So.
But one part of the weather that I have been getting to enjoy are these seriously nice temperatures that we're having for November right now.
Oh yeah, it is definitely on the warmer side for our November. Let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. So it is obviously in the morning still. Temperatures are on the cooler side. It is clear right now, but we will have some clouds that will increase through the morning. So the clear skies overnight definitely helped if you went outside and did see the Aurora Borealis. I believe that it is done. We will not have another chance tonight, but taking a look at 7th and Range Line, you can see not too bad at this moment. People are just starting to get up to do their morning routine, get their morning coffee. You're going to need your coffee because it is still on the cooler side. Rangeline I-44 from remote.cam. It is a little bit hazy, but for the most part, our driving conditions look pretty good across the area, except for a little bit of fog up there in Nevada and Stockton. You guys are just under 7.5 miles of visibility, so there is some fog, so just be careful because that fog can change very quickly, but the rest of the area looks really good for getting out the door and getting to drive to work. So your temperatures, like I said, on the cooler side, we're seeing upper 30s to mid 40s, even 48 here in Joplin and Carthage. So you guys are staying on the warmer side, but we haven't reached that peak cooling time. That's right before sunset. So temperatures will cool down just a tad bit more before the sun rises. All right, take a look at our future track for today. Today at noon, we're seeing nice southerly winds. That's going to warm things up. You see cloudy skies. Those clouds will continue to increase through the morning until we get to the afternoon, where they'll start to decrease. So you see about 4 o'clock, still some nice southerly winds. It is going to be a little bit breezy today, but sunny-ish skies, partly cloudy skies, by the time we reach 6 p.m. this evening. So a pretty nice day and a pretty nice evening. We're going to see for our school bus 45 out the door, 72 in lesson recess, 73 degrees as you're heading home. And like I said, cloudy skies through the morning and 73 for our high. But I'll have a check your forecast coming up.
Donald, thanks. An investigation into the cause of a house fire turns into a criminal investigation. Authorities responded to reports of the house fire Tuesday night in the 3100 block of North Illinois of Carl Junction. Witnesses say a man ran from the area when the fire appeared. No occupants or responders were injured. The Missouri State Fire Marshal's office will assist in the investigation. which the Carl Junction fire chief confirms is an active criminal investigation. That's footage of that house fire from Carl Junction. 2 men survived a small plane crash without injuries in Chesterfield, Missouri Tuesday. The plane was returning to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport when it crashed. The pilot deployed a parachute, which investigators says helped glide the plane into the tree line. A Chesterfield City Councilwoman said the fact that the men got up and walked away from the crash is a, quote, miracle. The U.S. House voted yesterday to reopen the federal government. Some members from both parties oppose a provision that would close a loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill. The provision targets hemp products with more than 0.4 milligrams of THC, the primary psychoactive compound in cannabis that causes the high. Supporters say it stops unsafe THC products from reaching consumers. The measure would not affect hemp growers and who make building materials, rope, and clothing.
Oh, we're done. We'll close up shop for sure. So we have lab work on all of our product. We're not required in this industry, and that's what we've been fighting for 3 years in Missouri, is regulation, common sense regulation.
One Missouri congressman says he supports the provision despite concerns from CBD store owners. Oliver and other business owners want regulation instead of prohibition. The vote could determine the future of Missouri's hemp industry. Some of the most successful competitive dancers in the entire country live right here in Joplin. KWM sports reporter Ben McLeish has the story of the Putnick sisters.
Inside Ovation Studios in Carthage, you'll find 2 sisters who move like mirrors of one another. They spend hours each day in this room, sharpening every step, every turn, driven by something more than just talent.
I started dancing when I was 3 years old. Honestly, my mom just signed me up. She said, "Oh, your friend's taking dance, and I think this would be something fun for you to do."
But that simple sign-up turned into something extraordinary. Today, 15-year-old Yesfi and 11-year-old Arika Putnick are among the most successful competitive dancers in the region, winning titles across the country and representing the United States on the international stage.
When I got wrapped with the United States flag at the Continental Cup, it was such a great feeling.
And their success is no accident. Behind every performance are long nights, late homework, and a lot of sacrifice.
The next day, sometimes I've woken up at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. I think the earliest I've woken up to do some schoolwork is like 3 a.m. and then gone to school the next day and done it all over again.
Even at that pace, they rarely take a break.
Instead of sitting down or instead of taking that break, we push through the pain.
And it shows.
They are some of the hardest working dancers that I've ever had the privilege of working with.
In the studio, they're dedicated athletes. On stage, they're storytellers.
You're required to have all the athleticism of any athlete, and in many cases more. On top of that, also have to have artistry and be able to have emotion and connection with an audience and be able to perform on stage and just really bring that dynamic to life.
And for these two, the connection runs deeper than any choreography.
We've done a duet for 5 years now, and every time we've always just connected really well on stage. Honestly, we fight a lot. We have that siblings arguments and stuff, but that makes us grow stronger on stage.
We never knock. Sibling rivalry? Sure, but also a partnership built on trust, talent, and love.
Yes, we are sisters, we fight, but when you see that like each other has different strengths and you can help each other with that, it's always so helpful to have someone older than me who I can really rely on and tell her everything.
And through every performance, trophy, and late night at the studio, the Putnick sisters continue to prove that hard work and heart go hand in hand.
I would rather go on to a dance competition and be someone else's biggest motivator than win a national champion title, whatever. There's a million dancers in the world, and to know that someone watches me dance and to know someone cares, even one singular person, that means the world to me.
From the floor of Ovation Studios to stages around the country, they dance not just to compete, but to inspire. Ben McLeish, KOAM Sports.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, scammers used ghost tapping to steal from your tap-to-pay cards in crowds. And later, the internet lights up with some amazing photos of the Aurora Borealis, including right here in our area. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, it's Red Cup Day at Starbucks. Customers who order a drink can also get a free holiday reusable cup at locations nationwide while supplies last. Thousands of unionized Starbucks workers are also walking off the job today for what they're calling a Red Cup rebellion over the lack of a labor contract deal. Earlier this week, dozens of U.S. lawmakers wrote letters to Starbucks CEO urging a return to contract talks. The company has said it's willing to negotiate, but it's called the workers' demands unreasonable. The U.S. Mint is going penniless after pressing its last circulating 1-cent coin Wednesday. President Trump ordered the end of the penny's production earlier this year, citing costs. A penny shortage has already affected multiple retailers nationwide. Many big chains, from Kroger to McDonald's, are encouraging electronic payments and exact change, or they say they'll round cash purchases to the nearest nickel. It's a season for scammers, and now they've found a new way to steal your money, even if you don't swipe your card. The Better Business Bureau is warning shoppers using contactless payments about a scam targeting this easy way to pay. Evan Moon explains ghost tapping.
No wallet, no problem. Tap to Pay has become a popular way for quick and convenient checkouts, but the Better Business Bureau is warning shoppers to slow down to avoid a threat called ghost tapping.
Ghost tapping is when your Tap to Pay card is secretly charged without your knowledge, or you tap it and then it's charged multiple times.
The technology can take your money without ever touching your card, using its NFC or near-field communications, how two electronic devices talk to each other.
When those communications are intercepted, it allows a bad guy to essentially use your credit card for unauthorized transactions. The good news is a bad guy has to be within inches of either your mobile phone or your credit card in order to skim that information.
These crimes come as touch-free payments are on the rise. More than half of Americans are using mobile wallets like Apple Pay, according to MasterCard.
If you love using Tap to Pay, you're not alone. It's almost effortless. But as we head into the busy holiday shopping season, experts say there are some ways you can make sure you don't get tapped out by these scammers.
Melanie McGovern with the Better Business Bureau says be vigilant in crowds.
The first time I heard about this was at a concert, that people were reporting that they had charges that they weren't familiar with, and it happened after they attended a concert. So when you're in close quarters, and there's Christmas festivals coming up, holiday festivals, marketplaces, things like that.
Cybersecurity expert Robert Siciliano's #1 piece of advice is to pay close attention to all card activity.
Is to set up push notifications or push alerts so you can dispute them with your credit card company.
So this holiday shopping season, make a list and check your taps twice. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Investing in an RFID blocking wall at our card sleeve can also offer more protection. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Donald with a quick look at your forecast.
It's going to be a mostly cloudy morning. Clouds will start to dissipate by the early afternoon, but it's going to be on the warmer side, and that warm trend will continue through the weekend. I'll have a check of your full forecast coming up.
Something many farmers rely on out in the fields could experience outages this week. An update in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Michelle Roque with today's Ag Day Minute. If you rely on GPS, something to keep in mind this week. NOAA is forecasting a strong magnetic field from the sun. The geomagnetic storms are categorized as G4 or severe, and the magnetic force has been 8 times stronger than normal. Now, these events can interrupt things such as high-frequency radio waves, communications for the airline industry, and for agriculture, GPS. But they're also creating beautiful scenes over the U.S. at night in the form of the Northern Lights. Beijing's buys of U.S. soybeans seem to have stalled. Bloomberg reporting that traders now say they see no orders coming in, which is casting doubt on the agricultural commitments deal that was recently reached between the two countries. Now, according to market observers, the pause is raising questions about whether China will follow through on purchase targets. However, analysts point out that China is already carrying a large soybean surplus. And candy canes are a favorite sweet treat during the holidays, but opening them can be a bit of a challenge. Now the folks at Brock's have come up with a cane opener. It says it's the only tool specifically engineered to open candy canes, delivering a fast and mess-free unwrap. Now it will be available online at thecaneopener.com starting next Monday. They cost $5. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on this station or get updates at agweb.com.
Now let's take it over to Donald with a look at your forecast.
Hope you guys got a chance to check out that Aurora Borealis this past couple of days, because it's definitely been nice and clear, and we're going to see clear conditions tonight, but the Aurora Borealis, I believe it is done for now. But take a look at downtown Pittsburgh. Clear skies. We are going to have some increasing clouds through the morning and into the early parts of afternoon. 7th and range line, not too bad as well. I'm going to block out that nice bright light we have behind us right now, but not too bad at this moment. People are starting to get up, do their morning routine. Range line 944 for our MoDOT cam. Not too bad. It looks a little hazy, but right now there's actually not too much fog happening in the majority of their area, except for in Nevada and Stockton. Like I was saying before, there is some fog in that area, so if you're driving through that through Nevada and Stockton, 7.5 miles of visibility, not too bad, but still be careful because fog can increase and decrease very quickly. Let's talk about why it's actually been so warm over the last few days, and it's going to continue to warm up through the weekend. So we have some nice, beautiful, warm southerly winds that are coming in, and it's going to dominate that area through the rest of our weekend. So our future track for today at noon, you can see cloudy skies, like I was saying, southerly, nice, warm winds. Clouds are going to dissipate through the afternoons, and then by about 4 o'clock we are going to have still some partly cloudy skies, but on the warmer side because of those southerly winds. And overnight, still a little bit of clouds are going to be lingering, partly cloudy through the night into Friday morning. We're going to get to about 5 a.m. right about there, and we're going to see those still nice southerly warm winds, clear skies. Friday is going to be pretty nice and on the warmer side. As we progress through Friday morning, we're going to have some lingering clouds, partly cloudy skies about noon, still nice warm southerly winds. And through Friday afternoon, clear, nice sunny skies, warming up, going to be a little bit warmer than it is today. As you can see, by 6 p.m. tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty nice Friday. So take a look at our temperatures right now. We're seeing upper 30s to mid 40s across the area. Joplin, you guys are on the warmer side, about 48. Same thing in Carthage. Out there in Sedan, Independence, and Neodesha, you guys are at 37. So a little bit on the cooler side, but we haven't reached our coolest time in the morning, which is just before sunset. But temperatures are not too bad. Right now in Joplin, 48 degrees, like I was saying, and a pretty nice clear morning as you're getting out the door. And our temperatures are going to rise through the morning as well, even though we're going to have some clouds. So 50 degrees at 8 a.m., mostly cloudy skies through the morning, getting up to 68 degrees by 11 a.m. So not a bad morning, even though it's going to be overcast. But your day is going to be mostly cloudy through pretty much the majority of the day. 72 degrees by noon, warming up to 73 degrees for a high between the hours of 2 and 4 o'clock. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting up to 20. So it's going to be an overall nice day. A little bit breezy, but not too bad. Our evening does not look bad as well. 68 degrees at 6 p.m. Clouds decreasing through the overnight, becoming partly cloudy. 61 degrees at 10 p.m. and our overnight low at 58 degrees. So not a bad day and a bad evening. So make sure you get out and enjoy that nice weather. Go for a nice evening stroll because this is the perfect time to do it. 73 degrees for our Thursday, 75 degrees for our Friday. On the breezier side, it's going to be a little bit windier. Saturday, 77 degrees. So right now, that is our record for the highest temperature for our high for that particular day. There's a chance we can tie that record. If it gets to 78 degrees, we'll break that record for Saturday. Nice and sunny skies. Even for Sunday, we do cool down a little bit for Sunday at 67. Then by Sunday night into Monday morning, we're going to see a front that's going to push through that will start to eventually cool things back down into the 50s and also bringing some rain chances through the rest of next week. Sorry, excuse me. So let's just enjoy this nice, beautiful weather that we have through the rest of the work week and the weekend before the rain starts to set in next week. That's a look at your full forecast. More news and weather coming up after the break.
A Northern Lights display lit up the four-state sky this week, a stunning sight for those who caught it. These are images sent to us by viewers right here in the area. The technical term for this is an aurora, and it occurs as a result of a coronal mass ejection, which is a particle-charged blast of solar material that serves as a magnetic field in space. 2 CMEs were detected Tuesday night.
Forecasting geomagnetic storm activity for some time now, since last week, due to a very active location region on the sun in the form of sunspots that's been very complex and has been the source of these CMEs that have been flinging out into space.
NOAA says a third CME has reached us, but it's slightly weaker. NOAA will continue to provide updates on its website, including any other possible CME events.
The very beautiful pictures from that aurora borealis I've had over the last couple of days. Nice clear skies, but for today, we're going to start off a morning mostly cloudy, 50 degrees at 8 a.m., warming up to 60 degrees by 11 a.m. It's going to be a pretty nice morning despite it being mostly cloudy, and then we're going to see mostly cloudy skies through the afternoon as well. 72 degrees at noon, warming up to that high of 73 about the 2 to 4 o'clock hour. Like I said, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies until we get to the evening time. Winds are going to be 5 to 10 miles an hour, gusting up to 20, so a little windy today, not too bad. We're going to drop down to 58 degrees for overnight. That's going to be after about the 10, 11 o'clock hour, so a pretty nice evening as well. Then taking a look at our 10-day as well, 73 degrees for a high today, 75 for tomorrow, and then Saturday, 77, which is going to tie the record for the warmest day for that day. If we can get to 78, that will break the record. Let's see when we get to Saturday. And then Sunday cools down a bit. A front pushes in Sunday night into Monday, cooling things down a little bit and bringing some rain chances back by the time we get to next Wednesday, but really nice temperatures for us through the rest of this work week and weekend. That's a look at your weather. Another hour of news and weather coming up.